too. I like him too. He my man.
A very good morning, Level 7A, and welcome back to our online class. How are you doing this morning? Great. I'm doing good too, thank you. How was your weekend? Good. I'm glad to hear that. Have you done your homework? Even better. Make sure you send your homework in to me so I can check them, okay? Thank you. Alright, so what day are we on today? That's right, today we're moving on to Monday, August 10th, 2020. And this week is week 17. Alright, so for session 1, we're going to be covering up blueprint 2. And for today's class, we're going to be looking at lesson 2, I Love Doing Experiments, page 50 in your blueprint 2 textbook. But before we go to our lesson, remind me of what we've already done in blueprint 2. Do you remember last week what we've done in blueprint 2 on Thursday? That's right, so in blueprint 2, we were doing some preposition of locations, if I'm not mistaken, and we also did some grammar practice, and just the language, right? So you're asked to draw the map of your school, okay? Have you done that? Good. And you remember what is the preposition of locations? Yeah, so next to, behind, in front of, okay? In between, all right? Okay, so for today's class, we're going to be looking at I love doing experiments, okay? But before we go on to do all of this vocabulary and all that, let's do a quick listening to our model conversation, track 29 on page 50. Listen to the model conversation, track 29. Now listen.
Track 29.
What's your major?
I'm studying Russian language and literature.
Wow, how's that?
Well, reading Russian is a lot of fun. I understand it pretty well when I go slowly, but listening is really difficult for me.
Oh yeah? When I study foreign languages, reading is more difficult.
Not for me. Understanding a fast talker is hard. Anyway, what's your major?
I'm studying physics.
Oh, cool. What do you like about it?
I love doing experiments in the lab and research in the library, but I hate the lectures. They're boring. My professor talks too much.
Good. All right. So after that, you listen to track 29. Let's read the page together. Please open your book to page 29. It's okay if you don't have your book. You just have to listen and watch the video. Read the conversation. What's your major? I'm studying Russian language and literature. Wow, how's that? Well, reading Russian is a lot of fun. I understand it pretty well, then I go slowly, but listening is really difficult for me. Oh yeah? When I study a foreign languages, reading is more difficult. Not for me. Understanding is fast talker than is hard. Anyway, what's your major? I'm studying physics. Oh, cool. What do you like about it? I love doing experiments in the lab and research in the library, but I hate the lectures. They're boring. My professors talk too much. Okay, so this is the model conversation A, talking about I love doing experiment. So this conversation talking different between two people, Yolanda and Pete, right? So they were asking each other what major they're taking. One of them is taking Russian language and the other one is taking physics. Now, what does the word lecture means? What does lecture means? Right, so lecture it just simply means it's an academic talk. So basically most of the time a professor will be talking about a subject and all you need to do is listen and take some notes, right? So it's a long talk and discussion about a subject. Okay? Lecture. Okay, now moving on, let's do a quick vocabulary activities and feelings. And for today, I have 4 words. Solving problems, doing experiments, taking notes, doing research. Now, what does solving problems mean? Okay, so solving problems is I like solving math problems. Like, the word like is equal to have a good feeling about it. So if you like a subject, that means you're good at it. You're either good at it or you like it, okay? Okay, doing experiments. I love doing science experiment. Love. Okay, love is a stronger feeling than like. So a lot of people saying you can also use a different word like and love with like, for example, I like you, I love you. So when I love you, it's stronger than I like you. Okay? Love. Taking notes. I dislike taking notes in class. So taking notes means while the teacher is talking, you write down the notes into your notebooks. Okay? So maybe some words that you don't understand, or some some vocabs you don't understand, some words you don't understand. So you take notes in your notebooks. Okay? So I dislike taking notes. So the word dislike means you hate it. Okay, it's not stronger than hate, but it's just like you do it, but you don't really like it. Okay, dislike is the opposite of like, right? Doing research. I hate doing research in the library. So hate, it's more like a stronger feeling, stronger feeling than dislike. So I hate. When you use the word hate, it's very, very strong. And generally, a lot of people in Europe, well, most of the times, don't use the word hate that much unless you really don't like that person or something. Okay, so for example, I hate watching this movie. It's so boring. The author is rubbish. The writer is so bad. The producer is not good at it. Okay, so you absolutely hate it. Alright, so you hate. Hate is a stronger word than dislike. Okay, hate. So going back, solving problems means when the teacher is giving you some work to do, for example, especially in math, physics, mostly in math and science, when a teacher gives you some work, you just have to solve the problem, find out the answers. Doing experiments. Mostly doing experiment is taking place in a science lab, right? So when you're doing experiments, you're doing something explosive, maybe dissect a frog or something, so that's doing experiments. Okay, taking notes. Again, I've already said that before. Doing research. So for example, if I was to give you a topic and you need to go to a library, you need to go to a bookstore or something, and to find out which books that is suitable for what the teacher is asking you to do. Okay, so you're looking for answers of the context that the teacher asks you. Okay? Alright, it's not much for session 1 in Blueprint 2 for today. Make sure you copy this work off into your notebook at the end of the session. Alright? Don't go away, stay in touch. I'll see you in session 2 shortly. Goodbye.
Like into, he my man, he my boo, he my type, he's so cute. I want him and I want him too. I like him, he my man.
Woohoo! Welcome back to session 2. Now for session 2, we're going to be talking about and looking at Speaking Tutor 1A. Today, we're going to be looking at lesson 1, Dialogue and Practice, Wetlands, page 104. But we're going to do a quick vocabulary review for today, okay? But before we go there, let's do a quick review what you have already done. Do you remember what you've done on Friday in Speaking Tutor 1A? Yeah, that's right. So you were doing some games, right? Role-playing presentation and games, correct? Remember in the previous page? Right. Okay, so speaking practice, how often quiz, right? So you're asked to close your eyes and point your finger into a word and take the word into a sentence. So using with some, rarely, sometimes, what else? Always, okay? And then you asked to do a role play presentation as well. Did you manage to listen to the track? Yeah, it was part of the video, right? Okay. Good. Very good. Okay, so for today's class, we're moving on to Unit 6. today we're looking at lesson 1, dialogue and practice wetlands. Okay, let's have a quick look at our vocabulary preview. Alright, number 1, coral reefs. Coral reefs. 2, newspaper. Newspaper. 3, stores. Stores. 4, provide. Provide. 5, fresh water. Fresh water. 6, air. Air. Okay, so what is coral reefs? Coral reefs is a noun. It's a richer grass in the sea formed by the growth and deposit of coral. Okay, so in all this word, there's going to be some pictures flying or floating in. All right, so coral reefs. Mostly you find them in the sea, at the beach. Okay, coral reefs. All right, newspaper. Newspaper. Newspaper is a noun. It's a printed publication, usually issued daily or weekly, containing news, articles, and advertisement. So maybe newspaper is also like a type of, how does newspaper is different from a book, like a magazine, okay? So newspaper is just a big, sometimes A3, sometimes it's A2, okay? So it's a big size. You use staple and you staple it and it looks like a booklet, magazine, okay? But it's bigger and it's thinner, okay? And usually mostly it's in black and white. Number 3, stores. Stores. Stores is a noun. It's a quantity or supply of something kept for uses as need. For example, shop or supermarket. Okay, so store is the same word as a shop or supermarket. So if you need something, the stores is always have the supplies for you. So the stores will supply you with household use, kitchen use, bathroom uses, like soap, shampoo, all that, okay? Stores. Number 4, provide. Provide. Provide is a verb. It's make available for use or supplies. So for example, I will provide you with some extra papers if you need, okay? I will provide you some work, all right? Number 5, fresh water. Fresh water. Fresh water is an adjective of or found in fresh water, not of the sea, okay? So fresh water is not salt water, okay? So it's like lake, river, no, fresh water. 6, air. Air. Air is a noun. It's the invisible gaseous substance surrounding the earth, a mixture mainly of oxygen and nitrogen, okay? I remember last week when we went to your Khmer exam, I saw something that you were doing in science about air and water and gas, yeah? So air. So it's an air, it's an invisible. So right now, all of you are breathing in with using air, okay? Fresh air. Sometimes it's pollution air, polluted air, okay? And sometimes mostly it's fresh air, all right? But mostly in the city, it's not much of, fresh air much because of the cars and the buildings and the factories, right? So mostly the airs are mostly polluted, correct? But if you go to the province, like in Kep, in Sinotville, in Kampong Som, mostly there are fresh air. So air is a mixture of mainly oxygen and nitrogen, okay? But we are mostly inhaling oxygen, okay? Right. Also, please open your book to page 104. Let's put the correct word. Oh, sorry. Look at the pictures, the warm-up pictures, okay? Look at the picture. So we have a picture of a frog, a turtle, crocodile, bird, and boat. Okay? So what you need to do, I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to answer using the example answers. What are they doing? They are swimming, they are flying. Okay? So, what is the frog doing? Using the word in the box, you need to make a sentence. So what is the frog doing? Right, the frog is jumping. What is the crocodile doing? The crocodile is swimming. What is the turtle doing? The turtle is rowing a boat. Okay? So there are more words that you can use. You can even take different pictures. So this will be part of your homework or your classwork. Okay? Don't worry about that. The next exercise will also be part of your homework and your classwork as well. Alright, I'm not going to take too long for this session. You need to watch both videos. Alright? More questions coming in your way. Classwork and homework are coming in your way as well. Alright? Thank you for participating in the class this morning, level 7A, and I'll see you tomorrow for my next video. Okay? Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.
Like into, he my